Last night's show began in a very awkward, somber, reluctant tone, I would say. Tonight, very, very different, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into Squared Circle Radio, where, as Bryce already says in the comments, we didn't have that one on our bingo card. We are live following the Raw after WrestleMania, the biggest Raw of the year. And man, there is a whole lot to talk about. My name is Chris Belcher. I'm your phenomenal host. That's my brother from another mother, the whole podcasting show, Jared, the Supreme Court Justice. And Jared, it is a good night when our viewers on YouTube look at the thumbnail and it looks like we're talking about one thing, and your boy here makes notes and he says, I'm going to start with this one thing because it was a big thing to kick off Monday Night Raw. But Jared, your notes, my notes have been flipped upside down due to that ending. Holy crap, man.
Holy crap. Holy crap. Man, I am pumped. Woo! I can't wait. Let's talk.
Man, Brad is in the chat as well. Holy crap, man. Mind is blown. We're going to get into it. It seems like a dangerous alliance of sorts. Of course, we're not ready to call it that, but yes, I know you appropriately named it. I know. Not exactly ready to call it that, but holy crap, dude. What an ending. We're going to get into it. If this is your first time and you don't know what we're talking about, welcome to Squared Circle Radio. Do yourself a favor, hit the subscribe button right down below the video, and that helps the show so much. And like the video, it's a thumbs up button below the video as well. We would appreciate that so much. We are working hard to grow the viewership on this show. Lots of great interaction over the past week with WrestleMania. We are bringing WrestleMania week to a close. I said it last night. Our goal was to hit 300 subscribers by the end of WrestleMania weekend, and we hit it. Thank you guys so very much. Yes, 300 subscribers. Might not sound like a whole lot to everybody that might be new to this channel, but it means the world to Jared, to Andy, and I. Cannot thank you enough. Cannot thank Aaron Grisham, our very special guest who joined us last night for our WrestleMania Night 2 recap. Appreciate him hanging out with us. Jared, let's get into it, man. Monday Night Raw ends with a bang. Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman, we had been waiting to hear from them for so long, all night long. We had been waiting 48 hours really to get some answers from them, and we got an answer in a big way, Jared. Their secret weapon, the muscle, has been revealed in this new group. Braun Breaker, the former Intercontinental Champion, comes out, spears the absolute mess out of Roman Reigns and CM Punk. Dude, mind is blown. Wow.
Dude, I mean, I watched WrestleMania. Night 1, I was pumped. I was like, let's go. Last night, not so much. Tonight, wow. I mean, mind blown. Yeah. I cannot believe it. I told you Braun was going big places. Didn't think he was going that big that fast. I'll tell you what. I got on WWE Shop, and I was just looking, kind of going through some figures and stuff. I saw a Braun Breaker figure, autographed, $80. Last one. Guess who got it? I guarantee the next time that they put them up, you're looking at $200.
Yeah. Absolutely, you are. Dude is going places for sure. We knew, especially with him dropping the Intercontinental title, that they were going to have big plans for him. Triple H has been on record several times, including after WrestleMania, saying that Braun Breaker is the future of the business, and no bigger way, Jerry, to stamp him as the future of the business than aligning him with Seth Rollins, arguably the greatest in-ring competitor of our generation, and Paul Heyman, who our third man, Andy York, in the chat, is on a work trip, but he's in the chat with us here on YouTube. Paul Heyman is the GOAT, one of, if not the greatest managers of all time. You talk about strapping a rocket to Braun Breaker and putting him in a big-time spot. Jared, the spotlight is on him now.
Dude, I hope that at some point they start calling him Steiner. I think that would be awesome. Sorry,
Mm.
having contact issues here, but I hope that now that like he's going places, we've solidified him. I hope we go with the last name Steiner, even Braun Steiner. I mean, that will be cool.
Yeah, I think it definitely would be too. Continuing to throw up comments in the chat. Again, we are live, ladies and gentlemen. So if you have comments, you have questions, drop them in the chat. We will do our best to address as many of them as we can. We both have notes. We both have things we want to talk
Big
about.
Tom energy.
But you guys drive the show. You guys let us know what you want to talk about. Big Tom Bryce from Sportswire Radio in the chat once again. Thank you, Tom, for your support. We appreciate it so very much. Jared, I wondered what was going on. They put the City Kitty back in the chat. Hey, y'all, what's going on? Appreciate you being tuned back in with us. How did we like tonight? Tom says, well, we're going to get into the rest of the show. Tom, we're trying to recover our brains from how this show ended. Because, like, Jared, you wondered what was going to happen. And obviously Punk was going to come out because he was already advertised, right? And we get the little beat down with Rollins, and they start showing the graphics. We're going off the air, right? The show was already going long as it is. And then Roman's music hits. It's like, oh, man. We're just going to get a stare down and it's fine. Then Breaker shows up out of nowhere. Dude, the possibilities of this, we know that we're not done with Rollins and Reigns. Jared, we know we're not done with Rollins and Punk. Now, imagine the possibilities of Breaker versus Punk and Breaker versus Roman Reigns. I mean, Roman Reigns normally would go home for a couple of months. I don't know about it now. He might be showing up and getting in the mix with Braun Breaker. The possibilities are endless.
Spear versus spear, and I like Braun's better. I hope that he defeats Roman Reigns. I hope he just starts plowing through people, dude. I mean, now is the time. I want to see it.
And then what's going to happen if we're long-term booking? I mean, I know we're excited in the moment. We want to live in this moment and see where they're going to go with this. But Jared, it's Wrestling 101. The story writes itself. Braun Breaker is going to get so huge that Seth Rollins is going to get jealous, turn on him, and then Braun Breaker is going to be a humongous baby face and the face of the company in a year, 2 years, maybe something like that.
Definitely within 5. Definitely.
It's crazy to me, Jared, how so many people online, and we're sitting here as excited as we are, probably more after the Raw, after WrestleMania, than night 2 of WrestleMania, which we're going to get into in just a minute. But dude, I don't know. I just feel like the energy now with WWE, it's like, okay, all right, we're back. We didn't go anywhere. You just had to wait on it. The story just continues.
Dude, I cannot wait to see where we go from here. I mean, like you said, so many possibilities. I think that in the future, we're going to look at the Steiner legacy and we're going to say, okay, we've got the Harts, we've got the Flairs, we've got the Steiners.
All the way up there. I like it. I mean, they're one of the greatest tag teams of all time, but then Braun is just going to take this thing to a whole other level. And then Scott has a kid as well, who is training to be a wrestler. He has a kid who's a college athlete. I think he plays basketball and played for Virginia Tech. Anyway, regardless, he has another son that's training to be a wrestler as well. So he has a, I don't know if it's a WWE ID deal or an NIL deal with WWE, something he's signed in one way or another. So there's another one coming. So the next iteration of the Steiner brothers could be a fun thing. Andy York, our third co-host in the chat. Who else would you like to see join this group? Of course, Paul Heyman, Seth Rollins, and Braun Breaker. I'm going to give you a name, Jared, and that goes back to something that we saw tonight. Becky Lynch turned heel tonight against Lyra Valkyria, her after losing their tag team championship. I know they're married. I know it didn't work in the past, but Jared, under this new regime, having Becky getting a new paint of coat, as they would say, on something to wrestle with, putting her with this group, I think would be really cool.
Man, I hadn't even thought about that. But every good faction needs a female. I mean, we're top heavy on all the guys.
Yep.
We did see tonight a lot of progress in the women's division, but still, you need to insert a female into this group. And man, I love it. Becky, she's great as both, man. I don't even know which I like her better as,
Right.
face or heel. I dig her either way, but I would love to see that. That's a great idea.
Yeah, I mean, I think so too. Was there anybody else that came to mind as I was reading that question from Andy? Maybe another guy, maybe an up and comer, maybe another, I don't want to say old timer, but somebody else that could be like the mentor of the group?
I'm thinking. Let's come back to that.
All right, we'll come back to that to see who else we might think could be in this group. But man, what again? Just an earth-shattering way to end Monday Night Raw.
Jacob Fatu.
Wow, you would put Jacob Fatu in this group? Oh my goodness!
I mean, we're going to line it up with stars, baby. Let's go. I mean, I'm in on Jacob. Him and Braun, I think, are the future of this company. I would love to see at some point another version of the Steiners versus the Head Shrinkers. And I think we could see it.
That could be interesting. I almost think I would rather see Tama Tonga than Jacob Fatu, not necessarily for star power, but I guess he would be the one that would bring the group down a bit. But at the same time, you have the muscle in Braun Breaker, you have the brain of Seth Rollins, and then you have Tama Tonga. Man, think about Tama Tonga when he first came in last year, the SmackDown after WrestleMania, how vicious that he was, and just this pit bull going after people and jumping people, and just this dog that would just leech onto people and just sneak attack all the time. I feel like the group needs something like that. Tama Tonga, I think, could fit that role.
I like it. Yeah. The more, I mean, as you were describing it there, I think I like it a little bit better. I still would rather see Jacob.
Oh, for
if
sure.
you can't have Jacob, Tama Tonga.
I think it could be really, really interesting because, Heyman has that connection with them. Talking about the bloodline, of course. Andy chiming in the chat says Carmelo Hayes or Andrade would be a good addition. I could see a place for either of those, honestly. Obviously, you've got Carmelo Hayes, the future of the business. You've got and has a past history with Braun Breaker. Then you have Andrade, he's kind of not really in a spot right now, so you could find a place for him there, sort of like that mob boss type thing. Lots of different ways that they could go with that. I'm excited to see what they do with it, Jared. This thing has endless possibilities. It really does. Very, very excited for it. Again, if you guys are just now joining us, Braun Breaker aligning himself with Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman. Braun Breaker becoming the newest Paul Heyman guy. You talk about
how big he is.
He's huge. Look at the way that Paul Heyman was able to bring Brock Lesnar's career to a new stratosphere. Imagine what he can do for Braun Breaker. So yeah, I think it's a perfect addition to this group. Again, if you are just now joining us, welcome into Squared Circle Radio. Like the video, that helps us get into the algorithm and other people see our stuff. Please subscribe to the channel. We just hit 300 subscribers. We cannot thank you guys enough, especially the new folks that we have brought in over the last week that are tuning into the channel for the first time. We appreciate that so very much. Again, if you're new, hit that subscribe button. We're not going to, doesn't cost you a thing. We're not going to send you an email. We're not going to do anything like that.
We'll give you a shout out.
We'll give you a shout out. That's true. We will. But it's not going to cost you a thing, but it's going to help us a ton. All right. Let's see. Tom Bryce says, yeah, on the way to 1,000. Slowly, but listen, Tom, you can just call us the little engine that could. All right. We're just going up and up and up. It might take us a minute to get there, but we're headed that direction. Man, so much to get to. Jared, let's get to the segment that I thought was going to lead the show tonight, and that is talking about John Cena winning the 17th World Championship, setting the record, overtaking Ric Flair with the most world title reigns in history, with, of course, the help unlikely help, I guess, from Travis Scott at the end of WrestleMania, defeating the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, ending his 370 plus day reign as WWE champion. Jared, before we get into what happened on Monday Night Raw tonight, we've had 24 hours or so to let this finish digest. We've probably heard from Dave LaGreca and Sam Roberts and Eric Bischoff and JBL and countless other wrestling personalities about what happened. As you've let this settle for about 24 hours, how do you feel about the way WrestleMania 41 wrapped up? Do you feel different than you did last night? Is it settling better? Are you understanding better? Are you still as upset? Talk to me. What do you got?
I like it. I mean, it was okay. I actually rewatched some of it today as I was doing some housework, and it was a good show. But the main event specifically, I wish it had a little more oomph, a little something else. But I mean, we got the oomph tonight. So I mean, if they were saving it, saving that bullet to put it in the chamber tonight, dude, I mean, I think it was worth it.
Sure. Yeah, I definitely think it was too. Yeah. Bryce in the comments chiming in. This is exactly where I was going. Great segue. Thank you, Bryce. Travis Scott didn't belong there. It definitely, Jared, is really, really interesting that Travis Scott is sort of the glue, is sort of the, I don't know, the connective between The Rock and John Cena. It's almost like, Jared, I've been thinking about this a whole lot today. It's almost like we could have gotten John Cena's heel turn just as effective without the whole Rock situation. Like, what do you think? Like, especially if Rock has not shown up at all since the Elimination Chamber. We haven't even heard from him. No Instagram videos, no messages through Travis Scott or through John Cena or whatever. Like, it's almost like they could have just done it differently and not gotten our hopes up. That's what I think. What do you think?
Yeah, random thought back to the beginning. What if we put Brock Lesnar in the group? Just thinking. But
I think he's got some things he's dealing with. I thought we settled this already.
He does, but I'm just saying. Rock is not needed. We do not need him unless he's going to actually do a match, in my opinion. I don't want to see him come out there and run his jabber. I want to see him in a match. I want to go back now because I was thinking too today, what are we going to do with Cody? And I'm so glad that we're not doing the rematch of Cody and Cena, at least not right now.
Yep.
But I mean, there's other places we could plug in Cody. That would be a great one.
Yeah, I agree. I think that, yeah, I'm definitely glad that he's not rematching Cena right off. Like, we need to just pump the brakes, and maybe that's a SummerSlam match. Andy says The Rock is entering Goldberg territory for me. Does more harm than good. I'm not going to go that far. Only because when Rock shows up, it is a really big deal, and people still respond positively to it when he shows up because it's a huge impact. So, I mean, Andy, we know how you feel about Goldberg, so that's a bold statement from you. But I don't know that I would go that far just yet. But in thinking about it, Jared, I just think they could have accomplished this heel turn without The Rock and not gotten our hopes up, because I think that's why we were so let down in last night's main event.
It was
a lot of people online, Jared, and I've tried to read a lot of stuff today just to kind of gather what the internet wrestling community is feeling about this main event. And a lot of people are upset because they feel like that the WWE shills, and I'm trying to present both sides of the argument here, because a lot of people will call me a shill, and that's fine. I'm trying to present both sides of the argument here, though. A lot of people are saying that we got what we got on purpose, that John Cena has said that he's trying to ruin wrestling, and that he ruined wrestling by the performance in the main event of WrestleMania. Where do you stand on that?
I mean, John Cena is not what he used to be by any stretch of the imagination. He's not as good as he used to be. There's ring rust. I still enjoy watching the guy, though. I still want to see him I want to see him have several matches on top. I want to see him carry the belt all the way until it's time for him to leave to make his exit. Um, but that being said, I don't think we should expect any, even on John Cena scales, any 5-star classics from John Cena based on what he's done in the past. We all know he's never going to get it from Meltzer, and he probably shouldn't. But
Right.
based on his past wrestling matches, I mean, I don't think that they're going to be as good in the future as they were in the past.
Yeah, I definitely don't think we're getting great stuff from John Cena. I mean, there were a lot of things last night that when he was taking the Cody cutter or when he was taking a move or two here or there, that it didn't land well or it didn't, what have you. I think even the first shoulder tackle that Cody gave him, he sort of rolled his bump rather than taking a full bump. Again, I'm not claiming to know that I know how to wrestle or anything. I'm just what I saw with my own eyes. Um, that being said, I don't think they intentionally like sandbagged this match, as a lot of people online are saying. However, Jared, I do believe that the people that are in charge of creative right now, Triple H, Bruce Pritchard, and that team, I think they are smart enough to figure out how to give us a flat ending on purpose. Now, I'm not saying that the fans not buying in or whatever had anything to do with it. Again, I'm not trying to sound like a shill. I'm just trying to look at both sides of it. I think they're smart enough to make us feel the way that we felt about John Cena winning, because that crowd was behind him and wanted him to win the championship, wanted to celebrate him in his last WrestleMania. So they're trying to do this push pull and trying to get us to hate John Cena. So I feel like there could be some intentionality behind a lackluster ending. What say you?
I hadn't really thought about it, but yes, that does make sense. I mean, even look at his entrance. I mean, they're trying to make him seem boring. The lights go off, you have the spotlight, it's just on him. There's no fireworks except for whenever he won the championship, but that was for whoever was going to win. Um,
Exactly.
so yeah, I think that they're trying to make us feel the way we feel. I don't like that they did it on night 2 of friggin' WrestleMania, but it is what it is.
Sure.
They made up for it tonight.
Absolutely they did. Yeah. Like I said, I don't think they sandbagged this huge main event of WrestleMania on purpose. But I do think there was some intentionality behind some of the things that they did that caused us to make it feel flat, I guess is where I'm going with that. Enough about night 2 of WrestleMania. Let's move on to what happened tonight, because John Cena came out, had the same black and white presentation, which I loved, got the pyro, got the ring announcer to reintroduce him again, like Shane
I
McMahon
love
used
it.
to, which was
I love it.
hilarious. Cena's cutting this promo and he's counting down how many days he's got left. Says he's going to keep the championship, whatever. And then wouldn't you know, from behind, the Viper sneaks in, drops the champ with an RKO. And Jared, we are fast tracking to the main event of Backlash in Randy Orton's hometown for the WWE Championship, renewing this rivalry as we should.
Yeah, I, people who listen to the show know, I haven't really been a fan of Randy Orton in a long time. He just doesn't do anything for me. But whenever I saw him tonight, crouching down behind Cena, lining everything up like the Viper that he is, and
Yep.
boom, got him. I was like, yes, I want to see this.
Yep.
It worked.
I mean, and it's weird that we're going to see a babyface Randy Orton versus a heel John Cena, which so many times before it's the opposite. You get the heel Randy Orton, which we all love, but right now, man, oh, we're behind Randy Orton. The only thing that I will say, this match at Backlash, if we were upset by what we got with Cody and Cena night 2 of WrestleMania, this thing is going to be a snail's pace at Backlash between these two guys. I mean,
Yep.
Orton's matches are a snail's pace as it is, and then you put him in there with John Cena, dude. Oh my gosh, might take a nap.
But look how much muscle they're both carrying around. You can't have all that bulk and then still move around like Rey Mysterio.
Well,
It
that's
can't
fair.
happen.
Yeah, that's absolutely fair. Andy in the chats, rest holds. Yes. I mean, that's what we're getting. It's going to happen. It's going to be the most throwback match that we have seen in a long, long time. But Jared, I'm here for it, man. I would love to see this. I want to see this match. I would love to see Randy win the championship, but the likelihood is like 5%, if that. Like this is just to get this match in, don't you think?
Is there any way, just like they did tonight with the women's tag team titles, we have Cena lose and then immediately get it back from Orton? Then he hits 18.
That's that's true. I didn't even think of it that way. That would be interesting and a really good way to get the heat on the crowd there in St. Louis, in Randy Orton's hometown coming up at Backlash. I don't know how they would do it, but I wouldn't put it past them to try something like that. Could be interesting. All right. Lots of live viewership tonight. Lots of people tuning in. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it so much. If it's your first time at Squared Circle Radio, we hope you are enjoying what we're doing. The show is for the fans, by the fans. Keep those comments coming. Keep those questions coming. We're taking them live. You guys drive the show. We got stuff we want to talk about. We want to talk about what you want to hear about. I'm Chris Belcher. That's my brother from another mother, Jared Justice. We appreciate you guys being tuned in. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. As Tom Bryce says, give them a sub, follow these guys. It's right down below the video. We would appreciate that so very much. All right, Jared, we covered Becky Lynch turning heel earlier. We quickly mentioned it, but I want to bring it back up because she returned last night at WrestleMania in a spot where Bayley was seemingly taken out. Becky and Lyra win the tag team titles, and then they drop them tonight, and Becky, of course, turns heel. What were your thoughts on, I guess I feel like Becky could have just shown up tonight instead of last night, and the same result happened rather than swap the titles. I guess it's a feel-good moment at WrestleMania, but I feel like this could have been accomplished, and the fans would have been happy because Bayley could have still been in the match. What do you think?
I can tell you exactly why they did it. Because you had all this heat that was getting on Becky because she stole Bayley's spot. And then tonight, she turns heel. They were setting up the heel turn. They were already pre-programming us to dislike Becky. And I think that it probably worked.
But the crowd popped for it.
It's a WrestleMania crowd. It's like Canada. It's Bizarro Land.
It's Bizarro Land. That's fair. That's fair. I think Vegas is the new Bizarro Land. Andy says, why not do the turn at WrestleMania? I mean, you could weigh that option. It's either have the feel-good title swap. Because, Andy, the title swap came before the main event, and we were going to go home with a sour taste in our mouth. So they needed the pop of winning the championships with a surprise return of Becky Lynch. That would be my thoughts. Jared, any other thoughts from you as to why not to do this at Mania?
Other than just that they were pre-programming us to hate Becky Lynch, and it started at Mania. So, I mean, that's all I got.
They did it on the
I'm getting a pillow for the old back. You're going to see me pull a magic trick. I'm going to disappear, and then I'm going to reappear right here. But I still got you.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. There he is, Jared, in his Brian Pillman shirt and his very loud shorts. I tell you, it's incredible the nonsense that this guy can pull off. Anyway, got another comment here. Bryce says the Rusev return felt lackluster to me. Let's talk about that, man. Rusev, it's been rumored for a while. He was benched by AEW. He's back in WWE with a new look, new Tron, new music. But Bryce says it felt lackluster to him. Jared, what did you think of his return tonight?
I loved it. I mean, look at the guy again. Look at him. Look how big he is. The dude's jacked. I mean, he looks better than I've ever seen him look before. I loved everything about it. I mean, he pulls off the shaved head gimmick. I'm thinking about going back to that myself. So I liked everything about it, dude.
I didn't like it. And as I told you guys last night on the show, I've just never been a Rusev fan. I just don't see a whole lot in him. I know Andy, who's going to chime in the chat here in just a minute, I could probably snap my fingers, who is really excited about this return. I just don't see a whole lot in him. I mean, he's vicious. He's a big dude. He's a killer. Okay, fine.
He be in the group.
Maybe. I don't know.
You've got Braun, who's the muscle. You've
Right.
got Seth, who's basically the Shawn Michaels, like how Shawn was in DX.
Right.
We need Becky. We've got Paul. Who again? I don't know what else we need besides a high flyer. I don't like the choices that we had earlier. Huh?
A female.
Yeah, well, I mean Becky. We've got Becky. She'll be a high flyer, but I'm talking like a male high flyer, like I don't know, Penta. I mean, that would be friggin' awesome.
Would be.
Or who's his brother there?
Ray Phoenix.
Ray Phoenix. I don't think Ray. I mean, maybe it's just because we just had Penta come in, but Ray, I'm not excited about. Put him in this group all of a sudden, man. I think I'd be a little excited about him.
I don't know. We'll have to see. Andy in the chat, of course, I told you it was coming. He says, I will not tolerate the Rusev slander. Rusev versus Braun Breaker and Rusev versus Jacob Fatu will be amazing when it happens.
True.
Yes, though it's big men just beating each other up, which is what Andy loves. I get it. My dad thanks, Dad. Rusev will be fed to Braun Breaker. That's what I think. Like here's my thing, Andy. And I'm not just pointing this out to Andy. I really do feel this way. It hit me when the debut happened. Jared, if he was going to be a bigger deal, he wouldn't have debuted and just squashed Alpha Academy. Right? Like, he's squashing the mid-carders already. Like,
yeah.
Put him up there in a big way. Like,
and we're still talking about Rusev, right? We mentioned a lot of names.
Yes, Rusev.
So, Rusev, I think, was too big of a deal for AEW. And he go ahead and hate me. I don't care. AEW is what it is, man. Mox is too big for AEW. The rest of them, they kind of are what they are. I want Mox back in WWE. I'm glad we got Miro Rusev back in WWE. I think that he can be a solid top mid-card guy.
Yes.
I don't think he's ever going to get beyond that. But top of the mid-card, I think so.
City Kitty is in the chat. She wasn't familiar with Rusev. Didn't do anything for her tonight either. I mean, I agree. Like,
try saying that name real fast.
Let's not. It just didn't do anything. Again, I think you're absolutely right. He could be the very top of the mid-card. He's not going to be world champion. I'm sorry. He's just not. Because if he was, he would have been in the Braun Breaker spot. And he's not in that spot.
He's not that good. He's good. He stands out in a crowd. I think if you were watching him whenever he was probably trying out originally, you could say, I see something in that guy. But he's not a main event guy.
Agreed. I agree. And again, he's probably back where he needs to be in WWE. He was just floundering in AEW and probably could be better off in NXT. I don't know. Andy's saying that Jey Uso.
Andy's head just exploded.
I know. Jey Uso is the champ. Anything can happen. Let's talk about Jey Uso being the champion, coming out tonight, having a little celebration with his boys, Sami Zayn and his brother Jimmy Uso. Jared, I was waiting for one of them to jump him, man. It just felt like one of them was about to jump him, and I was going to get very upset.
So, funny story. Going back, whenever Undertaker got defeated at WrestleMania by Brock Lesnar, there was a girl I worked with that liked wrestling, and my feed was behind. And she messaged me and was like, oh my gosh, Taker just lost. And I was like, what? So tonight, Brad, my buddy, he messaged me and said Sammy laid him out. I'm still not sure where that came from, Brad. Comment down below. But I saw that and I was like, holy crap, because my feed was again behind. So
Right.
I thought something had been spoiled for me. But no, I mean, I think the trio of these three guys, I want to see them stick together for a while. I liked it.
I thought we were getting an appearance from Roman at that point. But you know, he ended up showing up later in the night. But I thought it would have been cool for him to acknowledge Jey Uso, give him the I know he did it on the Pat McAfee show, but giving him the on-camera show of respect would have really helped put him over as well. But all that to say, we'll be interested to see where Jey Uso goes. I think if you've got Braun Breaker taking on Roman Reigns, Jey Uso versus Seth Rollins writes itself for that world championship. A way to put that new group on the map and to put Jey Uso over. That would be a good way to do that.
How about Gunther?
Oh,
how about Gunther just choking people out, man? I mean,
yes.
Are we going towards Pat and Gunther? Go ahead.
We're going to get to that because Brad just commented, as you said, it was a question for you. Sammy maybe lays him out.
Oh, okay.
That's what
it makes sense now. I got you, Brad. Be right.
All right.
Got you.
Yes. Bryce commented earlier. I was going to get to it. And he says, is Pat McAfee okay? For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, Gunther absolutely choked the life out of Pat McAfee tonight. Look how red and purple his face is turning. I mean, my goodness. But dude, it was crazy because I think it was last week on the prediction show. I said I wanted Gunther to get physical with Michael Cole and Pat McAfee. It just happened to happen after he lost the title. Dude, Gunther versus Pat McAfee, I am here for it, man. Let's go.
I mean, and I'm not going to say this and people be like, oh gosh, I shouldn't watch. If you don't want to be spoiled, don't watch this show because me and this guy right here, I mean, we get a lot of stuff right. We get a lot wrong, but we get a lot right. So, I mean, spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert. I'm pretty sure Andy only missed one, maybe two matches predictions at WrestleMania. I didn't calculate mine and yours, Jared. I know I missed quite a bit, but that's, you know, here nor there. All that to say, Andy kept me a running tab on, hey, I've only missed one. I've a ball lost. So all that to say, yes, we're not trying to spoil anything. We're just saying we know what we're talking about. Right. Pat doing a great job. If he was selling, yeah, I mean, it was great. It was really good. Pat has always been really natural as far as wrestling goes and showing this different side of Gunther being just absolutely, we know the mat is sacred and he wants to wrestle and be the ring general, but this ruthless side of him, Jared, I'm here for. I think it's really cool.
Me and my wife both love this guy, Gunther, and I was I didn't understand originally why they had him tap out, but I think the reason why they did that is to bring out this ruthless side. Like all of a sudden he snaps. I can't believe I tapped. The mat is sacred. I'm far above everybody else. This guy tapped me out. So I think that's where we're going.
You know, I wondered if we would get a Jey Uso and Pat McAfee versus Gunther and someone tag team match. I think that could be interesting, but Andy chiming in, it's time for Cole to bust out the orange singlet again.
And it's horrible tattoo.
I don't think that we need a 2-on-1 handicap match with Cole and Pat against Gunther. No. I don't know that I'd go that far. But if Michael Cole busted out the orange single, listen, Jared, the chants and the cheers that Michael Cole was getting tonight, I'm not saying everybody wants him in the ring, but man, the people were behind him.
Did you ever think you would be saying that? Do you remember how much we used to hate Michael Cole whenever Vince made him act certain ways? I mean, it's like bizarro world that this man has now become such a beloved figure.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. You're 100% right. Man, Honestly, though, those are the few things that I had that stuck out to me from Monday Night Raw tonight. Of it, Dominic Mysterio retaining the Intercontinental Championship over Penta with a returning JD McDonough to help him out. Finn Balor a little wishy washy as far as where he's going to go. Not sure he's totally satisfied with what happened. Anything else, man, from the Raw after WrestleMania, the biggest one of the year? Anything else stick out to you?
I mean, basically the whole show did. I am a little bummed and I'm a little worried about. I don't feel much when it comes to Jay Uso. Like I love seeing him with Sammy and his brother. Maybe that's why they're putting him back together with those guys. I love seeing that. That gets me pumped. But Jay by himself, he reminds me a lot of one of my buddies, Abe Boyd. And I think I have Peyton Boyd Blair that should be tuning in and watching this. So I wanted to give him a shout out. But for some reason, man, there's something missing with Jay, and I'm just not that excited about him unless he's with Sammy and his brother.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's like the people get behind him and he gets, all the cheers and all the merch sales and all that, and then the bell has to ring. And
Exactly.
I have long said that Jay Uso has to have a great dance partner to have a really good match. And I think that's why Seth Rollins would be a really good opponent for him,
Ooh.
challenging for this championship. Rollins probably loses, and that's fine. Put Jay over, but Rollins is going to be absolutely be able to get the best out of him. Finn Balor is another guy that I think could get some really good stuff out of him. I know you might not feel that way. I think Balor could get some good stuff out of him. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how long the Jey Uso experiment lasts.
I think that I think Rollins. I think he needs to beat Jay, and I think that they need to get the title off Jay for now. So I think that that could be where we're heading. I mean, that would really put the icing on the cake of this new dangerous alliance. That's what I'm going to call them until they actually come up with an official name.
Yes, I agree. And then whatever name they come up with is probably not going to be as cool as
No.
Dangerous Alliance. No, absolutely not. All right, man. That's really going to put a bow on WrestleMania week. Obviously, before we sign off here, it's been a tremendous week. If you guys are new to the channel and you haven't checked out the past episodes that we've done, we predicted WrestleMania, we reviewed WrestleMania, we fantasy booked the ultimate WrestleMania, we talked about the Hall of Fame class, we debated Mr. WrestleMania. We've done all sorts of things.
And he lost.
I did not lose. We have done so much this past week. So if you're new to the channel, go back and check it out. But Jared, before we wrap up WrestleMania week, you and I have been watching wrestling since we've been born. And we've watched so many WrestleManias. If you have to look back at some of your favorite WrestleMania memories, because really we're not going to talk about WrestleMania too much more until New Orleans in 42 next year. So, what are some of your favorite memories?
I remember, I've told this story before, that whenever I first started getting into WWF, because me and you, I think, both started with NWA and WCW, I started watching some WWF. I was not up to date. Started watching Hogan. I actually saw Mania 7 with him against Slaughter whenever that Slaughter made Hogan bleed. And I was like, oh man, what would happen if you had Warrior versus Hogan? Little did I know that had happened the previous year at Mania 6.
Right.
So that sticks out. Austin and Brett's, that's awesome. The Iron Man match, I know that Andy doesn't like it. Iron Man Sean versus Brett. In a bad way, whenever that you had Austin versus Rock and Austin went heel, that will stand out as a stinker forever. Brock beating the Undertaker's streak. Those will be my biggies.
Yeah, for sure.
And Seth.
And
Seth coming out during the Brock and Roman match at was it 30?
31.
31.
31.
That's one of my favorite matches of all time. So that one sticks out, of course.
Speaking of WrestleMania 6, and my brother Bryce is still in the chat, he will know this, that ad nauseum, I rented the videotape for WrestleMania 6 and I watched Warrior and Hogan until I could not watch it anymore. I'm sure I wore that cassette tape out, but that's obviously the first thing that really sticks out as far as WrestleMania goes. And then just watching Mr. WrestleMania, Shawn Michaels, through the years, just deliver match after match after match. And just all of my favorites and what they've done at WrestleMania over the years. But Jared, when somebody tells me or somebody asks me, hey, what are some WrestleMania memories for you? The first one that I'm always going to tell them, and it doesn't matter. The first one is walking through the curtain at the Superdome in New Orleans,
of course,
and
yes.
seeing the stage for WrestleMania 34 for the very first time. We'll never forget that for as long as I live.
I'm not trying to diminish in any way what heaven is like, but I think I came as close as I've ever come in my life whenever I walked through that curtain at WrestleMania 34, and I was just like looking around, and I was like, my goodness,
Yeah,
this is what all the talk is about. I loved it.
yep. Going to WrestleMania in person again, if you're a wrestling fan and you're watching, obviously, if you're watching the show, you're a wrestling fan, but if you've never experienced a WrestleMania in person, I implore you, just make it happen. Like,
Yep.
just make it happen. I promise it'll be worth it. I don't care if the main event of night number 2 sucks like it did last night, because the first WrestleMania that we went to, the main event sucked and we went out of there very disappointed. But
Yep.
it's one of my favorite WrestleManias ever because I was there in person, very first one. So all that to say, Jared, that's WrestleMania week. That's another one in the books. We can breathe a sigh of relief, but we can't rest too long because we'll be right back here next week, Monday night after Raw, with more great content. Dude, I'm excited for what the future holds for Squared Circle Radio.
Me too, man. And again, I want to mention, I told them I would every show, as long as they keep our flyer up. Hideaway Novelties. They have 2 locations in Pikeville. Really good guys that work there. It's a cool little shop. Check it out. I mean, if anybody else out there wants to become some kind of sponsor for this show, hit up Chris, hit up me. If you're in the Pikeville area, I would suggest hitting up me. If not, hit up Chris. We'll make it happen, man. I mean, we're more than happy to mention you on the show. New listeners, let us know that you're new. Subscribers, especially, hit that subscribe button. We'll give you a shout out. You can become part of this show. I think we're going up, 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 as Tom says. And I love that guy too. So that's all I got to say for right now.
Appreciate Tom. Appreciate his support in WSN as well. One more comment before we get out of here from City Kitty. I'm hoping they do a WrestleMania in Nashville when they get the new stadium built. Well, as a fellow Nashvilleian, that is the word that it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when. So apparently the rumor is that it's been confirmed it's going to happen. It's just a matter of getting WWE to confirm it as well. So all that to say, we can only hope so. All right, guys, that is going to do it for WrestleMania week for another edition of Squared Circle Radio. We appreciate you guys being with us so very much. Again, if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button on the way out. Hit the thumbs up button. We would appreciate it so much. For Jared Justice, my name is Chris Belcher. This has been Squared Circle Radio, the Raw after WrestleMania. We will catch you guys down the road.